you. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome. Thank you for being here. My name is Claudia, and I had the pleasure of working with Josue and Maria for the last 2 weeks on this website redesign for the Hollywood Farmers Market. The Hollywood Farmers Market is right here in Portland, Oregon. It's a mid-sized farmers market, and it's been a staple in the neighborhood since 1997. They actually just held a 25-year anniversary celebration last month. So why this farmers market? I'm so glad you asked. So farmers markets are important to the community for a variety of reasons. They can serve a social purpose, meaning they can be an important social event in the community as a weekly meeting place that encourages friendly interactions. A customer has an average number of 15 to 20 social interactions at a farmer's market versus 1 to 2 at a grocery store. Saturday mornings can be quality family time for a lot of people. Markets also promote healthy eating by providing access to fresh fruits and vegetables. And one way that this is accomplished is by providing shoppers who are on SNAP benefits to double their money through a program called Double Up Food Bucks. The market provides an additional $20 weekly to those using their SNAP benefits, actually in the form of these wooden tokens, which I know you can't see it, but they're actually sporting the old logo because you got to stick to your roots. That's a vegetable joke for you. This year, in 2022, the Hollywood Farmers Market is on track to distribute $80,000 in SNAP matches to the community, which is awesome. And you don't get that at a grocery store. So why now? So we know it's important to keep a farmer's market thriving in the community. Why are we partnering with Hollywood now? The last branding update occurred in 2015, along with a change in the website host. They're using WordPress now. And the shifting demographics in the neighborhood, along with a newer generation of farmers markets, means the website has different priorities now and needs a refresh in order to capture the attention of this new wave of customers and potential customers. So our process was the following. We completed user research through crafting a proto persona and a user persona. We conducted interviews and met with a key stakeholder from the market, our current market director, Allison Delancey. To define our design, we completed an analysis on the current website, wireframed a new design, and created a style guide. We then prototyped, tested, iterated, tested, iterated, tested, and iterated. And we were able to test with our stakeholder and bring the design to the market on a Saturday to test with users and vendors there. So we started the journey with Pamela Jo Walker, who is a familiar face in the neighborhood. She fit strongly with the established demographic of this market, but was not reflecting the growing demographic. Allison even commented, "We have a lot of Pamela Jo's." So then we kicked off our research with a survey where we discovered the sources that users rely on for market updates. And social media is taking the biggest piece of the pie, not a huge surprise. But Allison would like to drive more traffic to the website as it has more information about the market. Results from the survey also included how important vendors are to market shoppers. So 10 out of 18 people answered that seeing which vendors are at the market would drive them to the website. And 100% of the people surveyed said they go to the farmer's market for fresh produce and to support the local vendors and growers. So here's some feedback we received from users on the current website. Some of the items in the navigation at the top are outdated. The hero image is a little confusing with where the banner is setting. It's covering up some of the eggs. There's like an empty sugar shaker on the left side. They did find that the time and location of the market is clear and convenient. And then as we can all see, the buttons underneath it aren't really aligned. So our research led us to this user persona, Abby Shawano, She's she's a mom to a young son, and leads a busy life. She has just moved and needs to find a new market. And because she is busy, she can tend to forget when a market might be. But she enjoys eating seasonal food and teaching her son about cooking. Which led us to this user insight. She's a busy working mom to an 8-year-old, just moved to a new neighborhood. She's looking for good local food and family-friendly activities, and she needs to find a local farmer's market. So what's the problem? Hollywood Farmers Market current website doesn't align with their brand standards and has out-of-date information, and it needs to more effectively showcase the welcoming culture and diverse community of the market. So our proposed solutions, we would like to give the users a preview of the market experience, keep the information current. The stakeholders need to be able to update the content. So how might we embody the market experience on the website and promote a greater sense of community? Also, in meeting with our stakeholder, Allison, we agreed on some needs for the website. So the first need, reflect a shifting demographic in the neighborhood and in shoppers. We want to invoke feelings of joy, fun, and freshness, incorporate color to keep things light and bright. She's going to need to be able to update the website quickly and frequently, especially when the season changes and when the vendors change, and the need to incorporate logos of sponsors to encourage more participation in sponsorship. So now I will hand it off to Josue to talk about design.
Thank you, Claudia. All right, so our design process was a success. Having gathered enough information from our users helped us gain stronger insight to better address the user's needs as well as their pain points. With the key insights we gained from our stakeholder meeting with Allison, we began to consider what a balance between empathizing with our users, meeting the needs of the business, and factoring in the market's goal to move their website over from WordPress to Squarespace might look like. We kicked off the definition phase with redlining of the current website. As you can see, there's a lot of work to be done. The logo looked like it was going through an identity crisis. Am I a logo? Am I header text? The overlays, portrait dimensions don't really allow any hero image to shine. And then we also took a look at our other elements here. So in our competitor analysis, there were a lot of farmers markets that actually had a lot of compelling photography of their own markets on their websites. And we felt that this was a clear missed opportunity to excite users about the market. Alignment issues and poor use of white space made this look pretty uneven as well. And everything else about the site looked like it was literally swept underneath a rug with what is a very cluttered footer. And then we were able to begin to break down the information analysis or the information architecture. Our information architecture had us point out such things as outdated links. So during our meeting with Allison, she had mentioned to us that the COVID info link had less use now, which was counterintuitive to welcoming people back to the market. With location being an information architecture goal, the current information was a bit presumptuous that the user would know that it's in the Portland area. And then the call to action button looked like it didn't want to be seen. It was kind of blending in with everything else. All right. Making users and visitors more aware of the Market Snap food benefits was an immediate business need, so we would have to give that a bit more priority. As for the footer, we didn't want users to be overwhelmed when they're looking for information, kind of like an overload. And then lastly, during our stakeholder meeting, it was also uncovered that the newsletter was actually a phenomenal asset for engaging new and returning visitors with information about vendor offerings and events. We didn't want to miss out on the opportunity to make users aware of this, so we began to brainstorm ideas on how to make this part shine. All right, so we began our wireframing process. We drew information from our competition, we experimented with different styles and elements, and consulted our mood board. Thankfully, a lot of our vision seemed to align, and we met in the middle. And the result was a clean, unified design in our low fidelity prototype. All right, the Hollywood Farmers Market is a hub of information for shoppers, vendors, locals, visitors, and should evoke a sense of community. The photos used should feature products one would expect to find at the market and friendly faces that show inclusivity. The colors will represent the current branding of the organization and the fresh organic feel of the market produce. A simple sans serif font keeps the website accessible, fresh, and modern. With a high success rate from our user tests, we had to dig deeper in our user feedback and how they navigate the website to base iterations off of. So some of our feedback from our users here point out to smaller, hard to read text in the times and location. The hero image felt a bit dark, did not stand out. And they also felt like the option to scroll down was actually a nice touch with the arrow button. Our users indicated that the header actually clashed with the messages in our hero image. So there was a bit of like overlap there. Also, they did like how easy it was to find important information. So that was a great improvement. We also had to weigh in our stakeholders' opinions when we met back with them. So some things that were brought up, some of the wording for the food benefits, would be more, could be more inclusive for recipients of benefits other than SNAP, because it's not just only one program that they run. The signage and the hero image clashing with the header text came up as well. Oh yeah, I almost forgot. Oh snap, we match. So Allison really loved that. She was just ecstatic about that copy. So that was a win. All right. As mentioned earlier, it was important to engage users with imagery of the market. With the market being such an integral piece of the community, we wanted to prime users for the kind of experience they can expect when they visit. So with the stakeholder being as busy as they were, we weren't going to sit around waiting for those deliverables. We took initiative and planned a visit to the market to capture the magic. You don't have to leave your name if you don't want to. You can report yourself as anonymous. All right, the final iterations integrated any final feedback from users as well as the stakeholder. An overlay was added to improve the visibility of the header text, while also making it more dynamic for other hero images, should the market decide to update it in the future. We also began to apply photos we took of the market onto the page for a more personal touch. And now we have our high fidelity prototype, which will be presented by Maria. Thank you.